trial former. I don't know what that means. Okay. Hey everybody, it's Wilbits! We're playing Ace Attorney, Apollo Justice. Case 4, Trial 4. Trial 1, technically. I guess, actually. Let's go! Good morning!
So you're Vera, right? I'm Trucy Wright. That's right with a W, but not right, right? Not like writing with a pencil. It's the name. It's my name. We're on your side. You can tell us anything, please. Good morning.
She speaks!
Not bad, not bad. But I think you'd do better with a little smile, you know? You're so pretty. You need to sell yourself, you know?
Trucy, let's take it easy for starters. I'll close down a couple more things because this stuff is being a little weird still. It's freaking me out. It's going like... and I don't like it. Seems back. Alright, let's keep moving. Is she gonna communicate via drawing?
Thank you for taking my case.
Oh! Okay, well that's a start, I guess. You don't have facial expressions, so you're just gonna draw emojis? Okay. There she goes with the nail polish again.
That's great, really, it's so cultured.
Did you draw the same picture again?
Want to try? Oh, really?
Girls, they're gonna share makeup and then go to the bathroom and talk about boys. Ugh. The victim, Drew Measham, was a forger, and a stolen painting was found in his studio. A life of crime, really, and maybe one that led to his death. October 8, 10 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 3. Let's get started. We're just jumping in.
Well, we will now begin the trial of Vera Measham.
Is the judge okay? His voice is all raspy and he's looking around all nervous like.
The repercussions of today's trial will most likely be felt for a long time, and may indeed alter our legal system forever.
Today is a test of the jurist system, and the first step toward a new order in our courts.
Daddy's secret mission!
The jurors will function like a jury. It is hoped their inclusion will help the courts to better reflect the people's will. Why, aren't there any jurists in the courtroom? 3 closed-circuit cameras watch this courtroom at all times. I don't get to interact with the jurists? That's like half the fun. I thought they were going to throw 6 characters at me. The jurists have access to everything that transpires. Jurists, Judge Vell and Judge Cool.
Now see here, Prosecutor Gavin, I'm the judge, the jury were different, and I'm still important, and I'm jealous of the jury. I was going to say that. You stepped on my line.
My apologies, Head Judge.
Jurists, today, judges today's trial coolly. If you would be so kind, can you be the cool? Can you be cool, guys?
The jurists are unbound by the letter of the law. They don't affect the trial with evidence, but by their feelings. And we're about to find out just what effect they're gonna have. So if I have evidence that prove they're innocent, but they still feel like they're guilty, then I might be in trouble.
Very well, Prosecutor Gavin, the details of the case, if you would.
The victim is a painter, Drew Measham. He was killed in his own studio. Yeah. Oh. His coffee was poisoned. Huh. By whom, you ask? By none other than the defendant, Vera Measham. There wasn't any poison in the coffee. Achtung, someone has been doing their homework. Indeed, poison was not present in the coffee, but on the mug itself.
The mug? Residue was found on the rim, I see.
The autopsy report describes the manner of the victim's death.
The court accepts this as evidence.
Thank you, autopsy at last. I have a lot of evidence starting out this case.
According to this report, the victim's death was caused by atroquinine poisoning.
A chemical compound that does not occur naturally. Lethal dosage is a mere 0.002 milligrams. A touch of atroquinine in the body is the touch of the Reaper's scythe. Oh, I'm going to write that down for a song. The Reaper's scythe, the Reaper's scythe.
Very well, Prosecutor Gavin, you may present your witness.
I have for you today a simple man for a simple case. A man who witnessed the murder in its entirety. What? That journalist, no doubt. Ugh, we're starting with him, huh? The witness will state his name and occupation. Oh, right. Well, for starters, my name is Brushel. My job is a lone observer of the world. In other words, a freelance journalist, right? And if you don't mind, I'd like to state something here for the record at the moment, if that's okay.
Yes, Mr. Brushel.
I dislike conclusions, specifically the jumping to aspect of conclusions. Preconceptions make Pac sandbox of endless desert waste. End quote. But you are a journalist. You said so yourself yesterday. Well, that's true. Yes, but you must understand I stand before you today, a man with a dream. I'm offering you my testimony in exchange for exclusive rights to the story. Scoop turns Mr. Brushel into that Mr. Brushel, end quote. Yeah, gonna be a famous journal Jew. Let's hear
your testimony then, shall we?
A simple case, eh, Gavin? For me, the jury is still out. Literally, they're out. They're somewhere else. I haven't seen them. Okay. I visited the studio around 9 o'clock that night to do the interview. Nope, didn't mean to do that. The first outsider to enter the atelier, journalistic history mode, end quote. His daughter brought us coffee right after we started. And you know what happened next? Star falls, end quote. Boom, hit the table. No one else entered the room besides her the whole time.
That does sound like a simple case. Unless you were the one who poisoned him.
Judge! Oh, he went there straight away. Holy crap.
What are you saying, Judge?
Need I remind you, the cameras are rolling today. I felt the need to be a bit dramatic. Ooh.
You didn't do it, did you? Nah, come on, tell me the truth, Mr. Journalist.
Me do a thing like that? Come on, that's like newsmaker making the news, end quote.
Bad for news. Journalistic integrity, or even contemporary witch hunt, end quote. I know, wild accusations, rock courtroom, end quote. Rock indeed. Prosecutor Gavin sure looks like he's having fun. I'm so happy for him.
Very well, Mr. Justice, your cross-examination, please.
Well, let's push everything, because we want this guy to talk as much as possible. What could go wrong about asking this guy to talk? I visited the studio around 9 o'clock that night to do the interview. Well, they're supposed to report the news. They're not supposed to be the subject of the news. So, it's different. 9 o'clock at night? Isn't that a little late for an interview? If the great painter Drew Measham says come at 9 o'clock, believe you me, I go at 9 o'clock on the button. The first, and as it turned out, last interview with such a prolific painter.
Right. Can you tell us what it was like when you arrived?
The first outsider to enter the atelier. Journalistic history made, in quote.
You were the first reporter ever in Drew's studio?
Posterity will look back on that night as a turning point in journalistic history.
Yeah, he showed up at the very end of the investigation. We met him, and he was hanging out in the actual interview place.
A basically insignificant step for all mankind, but a giant step for that Brushel guy, end quote.
It's a mouthful of a headline.
If no one on the outside ever had access to the studio, then it would serve to reason that the deed was done by an insider.
By which he means Vera did it.
So how did this epoch-making interview go? He started brought us coffee right after we started.
Would you mind being a little more specific?
Ooh, let me tell you, I enjoy a cuppa. In fact, it all began when I was in 3rd grade. No, wait, 4th grade.
That's not what I meant.
I believe I know what Herr Forehead is driving at. This coffee the victim was served. Did anyone other than the defendant touch it?
Right, that. That's what I was going to say, really.
Well, now, if you got a question to ask, you'd best straight up ask it. That's what I tell all the new recruits, several times if necessary. Right for a grade schooler. That's my motto. Make it as dumb as possible. Just dumb straight away. Which isn't to say that...
Oh, I didn't get a chance to read that at all.
Who touched the coffee? I'm asking you now. Dunno. Wasn't paying attention. I was in the back looking at the studio's equipment when she served it.
So someone could have come in and touched it if you were in the back.
And what happened next? And you know what happened next? Star falls. End quote.
What's this about a star falling?
Star falls, huh? It's like an old telegram. Send money, over.
Zowie, you don't know? That's like a journalism code word. An important personage passes away. A star falls, get it?
But there's no gravity in space, is there? A star couldn't fall. I wouldn't think stars could fall, really.
Does this matter?
Oh, boys, this is good stuff. Good stuff. How about star breaks? Now, axe punch. I know. Star dies. Axe imagination. Too literal. Of course, you could go with Drew dies. Straight to the point. I like it. Yep, that's what I'm doing. Print it, send it out.
I think we need to hear about something a little more substantial. Let's ask about... I'm a little curious about all of these. You say Mr. Measham had the coffee too, but did you actually see him drink the coffee?
Of course! He who sees it wins, but he who says it wins bigger. End quote. I live in a man sees dog, eat dog, and writes about it world. Yet? I guess I can't say I saw him drink it, really. He had one so-called sip, if that. Man put lips to mug, drinks, end quote.
That poison is quite virulent, I hear.
My stomach did a so-called somersault since I gulped down that coffee without so much as a second glance at it. Wait, maybe something's there. Some kind of so-called trick. You want to venture a guess? For the record?
Does this guy have a pause button?
Well, Mr. Justice, did you find that testimony valuable?
Not terribly. The coffee Mr. Measham drank. That has to be important somehow. Nah.
Very well, please continue with the testimony.
Let's see. No one else entered the room besides her the whole time. But do you know that? Can you say that for sure?
For sure, I'm sure. Drew's studio isn't a big place, kiddo. I'd know it if someone else had come in.
What if they'd been hiding in there from before?
That's wild speculation. Even if someone had been hiding in the studio, they hardly could have poisoned that mug without anyone noticing.
You think I, Spark Brushel, would miss something as obvious as that? No way! He sure makes it sound exciting. I guess that's his job.
There's only one moment we need to focus on, really.
The moment when Drew Measham died?
Exactly. There has to be something there. Okay, so we need to play Guess the Right Question, Find the Right Inconsistency in His Testimony, which was happening in the Starfall section. So let's press this again, and we'll get past all these Starfall talking. And let's get the actual. Let's talk about his coffee. We'll work our way up and see what it says. So you drank the coffee that Vera served you too?
Of course, when someone serves you coffee, you drink it. That's what my old boss always used to say. Never did get what he meant by it, though. Very specific quote for him to keep saying.
But you're still alive, which is to say, you didn't die.
Of course not. No point falling before you're a star. End quote. If you're not famous, you can't die.
That's not exactly what I was getting at. But what are you getting at, then? You know the poison was on the rim, not in the coffee.
Oh, yes, yeah. There were 2 cups on the tray she brought, and one of the cups had Drew's signature painted on the side.
Huh. No chance the guest would take that one by mistake, I guess.
Well, Mr. Judges, was that testimony important?
Check. I guess this does have his signature on it. It says Measham, kind of. It kind of says that. Okay. The slow-acting deadly poison. It is supposed to be slow-acting. It's not supposed to kill him quickly. So that's not important. The moment of death is going to be important. Doesn't think it's going to lead to much.
Very well, please continue with the testimony.
Alright, let's look at the one thing that we haven't done yet. After we get past this again. The moment of death. About when Mr. Measham passed away.
Ooh, boy, what a scene that was! He puts his coffee mug down with a crash, right?
Yes, and then?
Then the cold finger of death touches his spine. Life's flame sputters and fails. So cold was that touch, he could do naught but tremble uncontrollably. Actually, life's flame is a little tired. Life's river froze over. Yes, that's a go. That's the one.
I think he's starting his article already.
Could you describe that a little more simply?
Well, as you can imagine, I was pretty surprised. He hit the floor, as they say. Artist seizure is final performance. End quote.
Atrophy paralyzes the central nervous system. The body arches back like a bow, the limbs tremble. They're both bad.
That's quite enough of that. Ooh, I'm getting creeped out. None of us want to be able to sleep tonight.
Oh yeah? Well, I want details. Lots of juicy details.
For that, you can listen to our last year's hit single, Atrophy, My Love, by the Governors. Available at all major music outlets. That's right, we wrote a whole song about it. It's very creepy.
The point here is that the victim died of atropine poisoning. Well, Mr. Jones, how did you find that testimony?
I'm going to say that it was important. Well, as an account of the moment of the victim's death, I'd say it's very important. Please add it to the testimony.
Very well. The court requests the witness add this account to his testimony.
Those spasms. That was definitely death by poison.
That did not come out the way that I hoped that it would. You say it was definitely death by poison? How can you be so sure?
Hey, look, I'm a journalist. I've seen a lot of things. And I've had more than my share of experiences with so-called poisonings. Man eats fishy fish, goes bye-bye. End quote.
Food poisoning doesn't count. Huh. Should I get him to talk about something else? Yes. You say Mr. Measham had the coffee too, but did you actually see him drink the coffee? Yeah, we know this. Let's get him to add this to the testimony. He had one sip and then it killed him. That's what's important about it. So we're getting the right detail from the right way. The victim drank his coffee, then immediately fell over.
Oh, yeah, you can't go to press with that one.
You can go to press with that one. Absolutely. Put it there. Your Honor, this is a vital piece of information. Please add it to the testimony.
Very well, the witness will add this to the testimony.
Vital, right. He had one sip, if that. The next moment, he was on the floor.
We're going to press it, and then we're going to slam it because this is a slow-acting poison. You should have been able to sip at it for a while without realizing what was going on. Even if you were doomed, you wouldn't go boom straight away. So he either took a sip or he didn't, and then fell over.
Oh yes, indubitably, just like that, wham, bam.
So Mr. Measham drank the coffee and fell over immediately. I think Brushel's telling the truth, too. Should I get him to talk about something else? No need. There's no need to change the testimony. The problem with the testimony is already pretty obvious. Alright. He had one sip, if that. We're going to present... Do I have anything else about the poison? Let's look at this autopsy report. Death by atroquinine poisoning. That's not anything useful. We're gonna show the coffee mug because the slow-acting deadly poison is very important. You know what I have a problem with? A particular property of the poison used, atroquinine.
Oh, Prosecutor Abner was quite clear about the poison. A lethal dosage of 0.002 milligrams paralyzes the central nervous system. If you drank that, even you, Mr. Justice, would be reduced to a quivering pile, just melting all over the floor.
Why are you using me as an example? Judge, don't kill me! Don't kill me, Judge! Unfortunately, we weren't told everything. There was a vital omission in Prosecutor Gavin's information. Ah?
An omission?
Atroquinine is as virulent as he says, but death doesn't come upon ingestion, not immediately. That's because atroquinine is slow-acting.
Slow-acting?
What?
According to one forensic scientist.
It's one of the most virulent poisons, but is absorbed into the body astonishingly slowly. It takes at least 15 minutes from the time of ingestion for adverse effects to show.
If we suppose that the moment Mr. Measham sipped the coffee was when he sealed his fate, then he would still have had time left to enjoy his last cup of joe.
Order! What's the meaning of this? If what the defense says is correct, why, that contradicts the entire testimony we've just heard.
Well, Mr. Brushel, anything to say on the record?
Slow-acting! S-L-O-W-A-C-T! It was virulent, all right! Even then, it had already begun digging its claws into the journalist. He's working on his scoop.
Objection! It's Brushel, yeah? Herr Brushel, let's take a trip back down memory lane.
Huh?
Did the victim really die the instant he took a sip? Think it over. This is vital.
You know what I think? I think that was a not-so-subliminal suggestion. In quote, I think you're leading me, the witness, to say something new, something you shouldn't be doing as an attorney, but let's go with it.
I admit it does cause a problem. If he died when you say he died, I would be forced to say auf Wiedersehen to my simple case. And you would be forced to say farewell to your article.
Come again?
You can't write a story based on conjecture, can you? And as the case drags on, other reporters will pick up the scent. And you'll be forced to kiss your exclusive scoop goodbye. I don't know if you should be saying this out loud in court. By the way, Gavin, the jury's watching, I hope.
Scoop. I taste it, I smell it, all of my senses are telling me, yes,
Look! Wait! Just wait a second! Just 1 second!
We're waiting. Out with it.
I think I just recalled a so-called important detail. A revival of recollection, end quote. A story's survival, end quote.
Attorney utterly confused. End quote.
Actually, I did notice something when I visited the studio. I'd heard of poison that takes its sweet time, see?
But not what I've been saying for the last few minutes, apparently.
Mr. Brushel, are you saying you noticed something that explains what happened?
You bet I am. The antidote for a poisonous contradiction, end quote, you might say.
Or, I still have no idea what you're talking about, end quote, I might say.
I figured it out, but only after an in-depth interview. See, thanks to my journalism skills, I know who poisoned that copy.
It's the girl who doesn't talk.
Order!
As far as I can tell, the witness is standing by his testimony that Mr. Measham died the instant after he drank.
Of course I'm standing by my testimony and my dream of exclusive rights to this story.
I suppose it was too much to hope for. What was? Of course he wouldn't choose a simple case. Not him.
Him?
Phoenix Wright, who else? Huh? Octoon, Herr Brushel. Report for us if you would. What is it that you noticed?
This court is a critical trial of the juris system. I'm afraid no room for doubt is permissible. You will testify to the court about what you noticed.